Hello, friends. Pamela here with Passionate About Scrapbooking, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the Texas Hill Country in Fredericksburg, Texas. Welcome to Restoring Joy Through Scrapbooking. This is my YouTube series I started recently on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Central Time. Most of the time I would go live at this time. That was my original plan, but things have changed the last couple of weeks and I've had to record these ahead of time. So this is a recording. Hopefully next week I'll be able to go live. So today is October 15th. This should go live October 16th. And then I'm hoping that next week, Thursday, October 23rd, I'll be live with you. So please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. I'll get to the comments when I get an opportunity. But we have something special going on tomorrow on Thursday, October 16th. So I wasn't sure I would be able to be live with you. So I wanted to record it ahead of time. So we are using the Keeping Tradition Scrapbooking Workshop Kit, the month of October. And I am designing, Stampin' Up! Has designed the first 3 projects. I am putting those together and tweaking them a little bit with some extra bling and techniques and things that even a beginner scrapbooker could do. So this is a great way to get started into scrapbooking by using these workshop kits. But then next week, I'll be creating an all new scrapbook layout using the scraps that I had left over from cutting everything and using them as is in the workshop kit. So be sure to join me next week for that. But we'll get started here. I'm going to switch over to my desk and share a little bit more, and then we'll get to creating. So here are all the products that we'll be using. Everything's prepped for the scrapbook page tonight. So we have a 2-page 12 by 12 scrapbook layout to do. All the pieces are cut. I've got some die cuts, photo placeholders. I'll add photos and journaling later and share that on Instagram and Facebook. I'm bringing in the Keeping Traditions stamp set that coordinates with the Scrapbooking Workshop Kit. I'll show you a little bit more about the guide here in just a minute. But let's open this up. You can see it's just a stamp set. So if there may be some fussy cutting you want to do, or just stamp it on some square and rectangle pieces, or even if you have some label dies, that would work well too. So we'll be incorporating that a little bit tonight. I've done that in each project, just very minimal stamping, but I have brought in also 3 different classic stamping pads, the Cherry Cobbler, we have Old Olive, and Secret Sea. And I think I've only used these 2 so far from what I recall. Let's grab our other pages just to do a little review of what we've done. So these are the finished pages, Project 1 and Project 2. And I'll show you some of the differences the different things that I did. I added in the gold and white twine. And these are the sequins that you'll get for free when you purchase your Scrapbooking Workshop Kit. You can do that either through my PayPal link in the description, and then I'll send you the Scrapbooking Workshop Kit and the sequins together as long as everything's in stock at the same time. And then, or you can go to my website at passionateaboutscrapbooking.stampinup.net, and you can add this to your order along with any of the embellishments like the twine, the stamp set, the ink pads. So if you want to add additional products to your order, you can do that. And I will still send you the sequins for free. They'll just come separately. So here's a little area right here where I did some stamping, and we did a little bit of splattering using the Secret Sea Stampin Blend. And this one has a fun feature on it. This was a bonus to this page, a little pocket for a tag. So you can go back and watch the replay on this to see how I did that. There's a little bit of stamping down here, and then right up here, I did a little bit of splattering back here right on the designer series paper as well. And I love this project because this is going to turn into a 12 by 12 December daily album for me. And these are all from photos from last year. So all the month of December. So that's where the numbers come in. So that was day one. So December 1st, December 2nd, December 3rd. So I'm going through my photos and selecting a photo from each day and printing it out in black and white to go into my December daily album for 2024. Now, if you wanted to make this for 2025, you can certainly do that. You would just use your photo place cards until we get to December, and then you can start adding your photos then. And then last week, we did project number 2, and it is this one right here. I just got it posted on Wednesday, today, which is October 15th. I was having trouble with lighting and getting the colors right. So I finally got that figured out. So I did get my photos added on here. Now this may look like another hidden tag, but it's just a faux tag. So I showed how to do that. And then we did a little bit of coloring using the Wink of Stella and the old olive ink pad and colored in some of the leaves here. So this is pre-printed right here. It was a full piece of 12 by 12, both of these were. And then we just went in and colored a few of the leaves in there. And that's per the instructions. If you wanted to, you could go through and color the poinsettias if you wanted to, and some of these flowers to add even a little bit more color if you wanted to. A few other changes I made. I did a little bit of splattering again. I added those sequins, and then I dovetailed these pieces. They weren't in the original design. We added some stamping right here and some more of that baker's twine. And then on this side, we did some of the same elements and along with that baker's twine, and no extra stamping on this. But you'll see I added my strip journaling right down here to go with the numbers of the photos. Do you see that funny little kitten? That's Jasper. That was last Christmas. He's a lot bigger now. So, all right. So those are projects 1 and 2. So you'll see those right here in the guide. You'll get this full color guide in your scrapbooking workshop kit, and it'll give you the materials needed. So you'll see there are a few ordinary products that you'll need: a paper trimmer, the Stampin' Dimensionals, glue, adhesive, and then the additional products, which are optional, are the Old Olive Classic stamping pad and the Wink of Stella glitter brush. It'll give you the dimensions for your photos as well. And then it'll give you a cutting diagram to follow for all the paper that's inside the kit, which I have done ahead of time. And then it'll give you instructions on how to put your pages together just as they are. I did a few little tweaks to mine to save paper and to have more scraps. So you'll be able to see that in the recordings. So you'll just check out actually, you know what I'll do? I'll put those links into the description so you can click right to project 1 and right to project 3. I think that'll make it a lot easier for you. Okay, so we're going to move some things out of the way and we're going to get busy putting this together. Let's see, where do I want everything? Here are, yep, all of that will work. And then I've already got my Versa mats out. If you can find some 12 by 12 scrapbooking mats, maybe at your local Walmart or on Amazon. These were from close to my heart, so I love them and use them every time I scrapbook. All right, so I think I have the pieces separated here, so I'm going to move these out of the way for just a second so that we can get started. I like to take some removable glue dots and I put one in opposite corners just to help hold my paper. Now this paper right here comes in your scrapbooking workshop kit and it is pre-printed, so there's nothing on the back of these. So I love that you get some exclusive designs in your scrapbooking workshop kit. Okay, I'll move these over for a moment over here, and then I'll do the same thing right there. Just get them lined up in there good, and this will just help when it's time to put paper down and follow measurements. So we'll start with this side, and then we'll work along over here with all these pieces, and then we have some stickers that will also come in your scrapbooking workshop kit. Let me pull those out and show you. We've already used quite a few right here, but so we'll come to this in a little bit and add those when they are necessary. Okay, what's fun about these pages, first we have to do some splattering. So we want to do that before we add any of these pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and move these out of the way. I'll put these, I'll hide them underneath over here to continue to keep them somewhat separated. So we're going to grab our old olive ink pad and I've already done this and used this. So we're just adding a little bit more color to that right there. You'll see it got a little bit of Wink of Stella in there. I didn't think about that, but it'll be fine. My next stamping stuff will have its own little glitter to it probably. And then I'm going to take, let me see how, I'm going to need to add a little bit extra. I don't want too much to come out. There's a couple of dots. Let's bring in, and if you want this to be a little bit more watery and not be using your Wink of Stella, I like to conserve it. I've rearranged some things, and so I've got to find, I'll use that right there. I need a little bit of extra water, so I have some in this little spritzer, and I'm just going to add a little extra water to that because we've got the glitter in there. I can see it. I don't know if you can, but, and we're going to move some things out of the way a little bit. I don't want to make too big of a mess. Let's bring it over here. We want some splattering right over in here. I'm actually going to bring a bone folder in and I'm going to tap. Okay, I can see it. Maybe pick up a little bit more. Oh, y'all can see it on there too. Okay, so there's some splattering there. Then we also want to do some right down here. Just pick up some more, add some more water if you want. I think this is good though, right down here. Okay, so you see all that really good. Next, let me look and see what we have on this page. 1 second. We have some up in this corner over here. So I'm just going to make sure my Wink of Stella is loaded up and add some right there. All right. I think that's all we need of that right now. I'm going to put all that away. Now, I would recommend if you're not going to use this anymore like this with the Wink of Stella, can you see the glitter in there? Wipe all this out so that you don't have this happen. It wouldn't be the end of the world if everything was glittery, at least not for me. And I think what I might do too, since I've done it on all the other pages, I'm going to do a little bit of splattering even with my Secret Sea. I think this is the light one. Could use light or dark. I'm going to put just a little bit in each area too, just to make it all kind of stand out a little bit and coordinate with my other projects. Might go a little bit harder right there. Okay. So just some fun little techniques that you can add if you're interested in doing a little bit more than the beginner pages. If you want to learn a few little techniques, this is why I do this, because it's fun to just add a little bit more texture and wowie. Okay, so we're actually, I didn't even realize this when I did the hidden journaling on project number 1. There's some hidden journaling for this page already in the instructions. So we're going to do something similar to what we did last time. I'm going to look and see if I can find my, what do you call it? Not my Stampin' Dimensionals, but I'm not sure what I did with the strips. This might work. So I'm going to use, this is a little bit thicker than the Stamping Dimensionals. Since I've reorganized my space, I don't remember where I put everything. And I have those strips somewhere, but I really don't remember where I stored them at. So I guess we're going to use, this will save the day. This, I think, was an old close to my heart package of something. I've been trying to use that up, so we'll do it this way. All right, this piece is going to go right down here somewhere, but we're going to make this a tag, a hidden journaling tag right here. It shows it coming out about right there, so I want to kind of position it in here to where I think I want it. Then we're going to flip it over. I can just leave it there, actually, and not worry too much about positioning it or moving it around or even drawing a line. If you want to draw a line around it, you could do that. I'm going to just hold it in place. I'm going to put that right up against it, not on it. That way it can slide. It's going to slide in and out like this. And then this one, we want to kind of make it snug. So keep it fairly close. I mean, you don't want it too tight. Cut that down, and then I'll need to, I think I will cut it like that. I'll use this piece, like that. And I think I just need it about like that. Perfect. Okay, just as long as it meets right there, you're good. So don't worry about that little V area. Okay, now we need to lift the rest of this. Now this may be where it gets a little tricky for me. So I am going to dig into my stash. I have some things under my desk here in my new storage area. I'm going to grab some older product that I have. I'm wondering if I just stuck it in there. I don't see it. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to dig around to figure out what I did with my adhesive foam strips. But this will work for now because I know that this is the same length or the same width. So we'll use, I'm going to use the outside here, and we'll just cut this off. It's got little squares that I can use too. But, so we're improvising a little bit. I'm going to do it like that. And then let's go over here too. Maybe I'll cut it in half, and we'll do some here and here. So I think that will kind of hold it all up for us. I think the instructions, I was kind of curious. They didn't mention using the adhesive strips. They just talked about the dimensional elements, so you could do that. You just probably use a bunch of them right there. So, all right. So just peel all of that off. And so you can see where it makes this little pocket for your tag. This is where we'll do some journaling. And considering the position of this one, I probably won't. Okay, make sure that your tag is over here. We're going to position it 1 5/8 from the bottom, approximately. And we want it closer over here. So 10, like at the 10 1/4 inch. So 1 3/4 inches over here. And then about that line right there, probably. And we're doing this just to give yourself a little room over here so that you could pull it out right here. Okay? And we'll look, it says pull. There's a little pull thing, so you know to pull it out. I might put a tag there, but probably not. You could put a bow, something that accentuates that. We'll see if we end up doing that or not. Okay. Next we need this piece right here. We can adhere it straight onto here, maybe with, I think I can just put it right on top of there. I think that's what we'll do. So I'm going to keep the adhesive kind of close to the inside there. We're going to go about with 3/8 of an inch or so right over here. What's nice about these lines on here is that you can line up everything pretty well. This would be a cool page to leave a place and journal right on the page too, if you wanted to, if you had a lot to say. All right, so next we need photo place cards. We've got photo place cards plus mats. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere these lightly to the mats. That way I can just pop these off when I'm ready to put my photos on here. But this will show you where our photos go. Okay. And these can go ahead and be laid down. You can put plenty of adhesive on this mat because it's going to stay right there where it's at. And then this one is going to overlap and come down just a tiny bit. Then let's look at our pieces. We've got this, and it's going to go right there. Now, I was thinking this one, I would like to put some ribbon. So let me grab what we were using. So here's a few extra items I've used throughout the pages. This is the real red shiny ribbon. And then we also have the black, white, and gold baker's twine. So I've been using this to bring a little extra bling to the project. And we have one of the trio punches. You get 3 different punches in this collection. And we're just going to make the faux tag, flip this around on the back, line it up, center it best you can, like that. And then we will feed in a little bit of this ribbon. I'm going to do a little bit extra this time and trim some of this off. So let's just, because that's kind of frayed, so I'll trim that down a smidge here in a minute. Oops. So I found these little pins that I had, and I've been using them to hold my ribbon in place so it doesn't go all over the place. All right, next I have found I like to add a little bit of a glue dot to keep this in place. So I want it to be over there. I'm gonna put my glue dot, let me see where I want it. Probably like, let me see, right about there. And when I fold it over, it'll kind of keep that in place. And then I think I'm gonna cut it like this and like this, okay? Then we can take our twine. I want it fairly long. It's a little, about 13, 14 inches long maybe. And I'm gonna go ahead and adhere it to here. It'll make it easier to tie. I'm gonna put adhesive just there on the bottom. And I'm gonna position it just like that. And we probably don't even need this now, but we're gonna make a knot here first. Okay, and then we can make our bow. Get it however tight and big you want those loops. If you want to cut some of this off, you can. And play around with it. I will trim it just a smidge because it's frayed there a little bit. I kind of like that. So, all right. So our faux tag. And then next, I think we can add our big focal point poinsettias. And we'll need some dimensionals. So let me grab those. And we're going to cover the photo just a tiny bit here. It's going to have to come back over here a little bit. So probably right in here, and out here. Just put however many you think you might need. Probably one there in the middle because it's not going to overlap too much. Think about right there will work. So that's where I put my dimensionals. Just pull the backings off. And then let's get it positioned. You don't want any adhesive over your photo. Okay, I think that's good. And then we'll do this one as well. This one, not as much is going to be hanging off. So maybe just put, you may just need one like right about there. The rest is going to be right on this portion right here. Okay, I want it so that about right there. Okay, let's go over this way a little bit more. We'll go down a little bit more. Okay, I think that works because you want to be able to see your pull tab right here and get that in and out. Then we have this is going to go right over here. I'm not going to do any more dimensionals because we don't want it too thick and bulky. And then we need a sticker. So we're going to be grabbing our sticker sheet and we'll use this Merry and Bright right here. And it's going to go over, it's going to overlap that a little bit. And since it's, I'm going to take one of these leftover little pieces and stick it right under there, and that way I can get my photo out from underneath there. But then I also want a dimensional right under here, since it's hanging off that portion. There you go. So that should keep it secure and in place. And then here is another little die cut flower. Now this one says Project 2, but I'm pretty sure the one I used on Project 2 probably said Project 3. So they're the same exact flowers. There's also a little joy sticker right here, I see. This one I think is, here's another little thing I've done on several of the tags or the stickers, is I'm going to dovetail this one just to give it a little bit more character. And it's going to come out from underneath here, kind of turn. I'm not going to press it real hard right there. Let's see, I did put adhesive on there, didn't I? Yep. And then just kind of turn this until you get it to, maybe you, I think I like it right about there. Let's see. Let's keep turning it to see what you like. There we go. I like it up a little higher right there. All right, so I think all of this area is done. We can put this little, there's a little sticker, ho, 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 right there that can go right in here. Just center it. There we go. Now we need to create a title right up in here. And to do that, we're going to use these pieces. We're going to start with this piece. This is a piece of two-tone cardstock that we cut. I'm going to use the light side, so I'm going to flip it over and put adhesive on the dark side. And we're going to position it. It shows 8 inches from the bottom or the top. Yeah, go all the way up 8 inches. And then, so about right there, and 1 inch from the side. So 1 inch from this side right here. So just kind of line it up right in that general area. Again, you can use the lines to help you get that on there straight. And I still didn't really get it on there straight. So let me, there we go, I think. And then you're going to take this kind of arrow shaped piece and you're going to position it up at the top, all the way up to the top at about, it doesn't really say, but I'm going to put it at about right there, I think. So about a 1/4 inch from this edge right here. And then we've got that little piece, and we have another sticker that says Traditions. And we're actually going to, whoops, it got stuck up under there. You're going to layer it onto here with just a little bit of it showing. So if you wanted to cut it, you could, but I just did it like that. This is going to go on after our big sticker title, which we're going to use this one right here. Look at how pretty that is. There's actually this same font right here where you could stamp a big Christmas if you wanted to. If you wanted to do something a little bit different and didn't want to use the stickers or didn't get the scrapbooking workshop kit, but you got the Keeping Tradition stamp set. Okay, this I'm going to put right about here, I think. And I'm going to just stick it right to the page. You could pop it up if you wanted to, but we have this that needs to go over here. I think it just kind of goes like this. Now that, let's pop this up. we're getting close to being done with this page. So we'll put this, it can overlap the S's just a little bit. Not a lot, but so there's our title, Christmas Traditions. Now I was thinking it would be fun to add something right here. We've got joy over here, so maybe not joy. Christmas traditions, so I don't need traditions. We could do fa la 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 la, that might be fun, or that's too much. We could do magic. Let's see what's on, before we do any of this stamping, let's see what's on the other page, because there may be some of the same sentiments that we don't want to repeat on this page. All right, so let's move over here. We've got a long 12-inch piece here. I think it was 4.5 inches long. And from what I can tell, we can go ahead and add that. So this is some of the designer series paper from the designer series papers collection. It's showing we adhere this 3/4 of an inch from the edge. So this one's easy to measure because you can line it up right there. And it goes from the top all the way down to the bottom, covering some of that scallop. What's really cool about these scrapbooking workshop kits is that every time you get one, you have a cutting guide or you have instructions for 3 new 12 by 12 scrapbook layout sketches. So you could do this with a whole nother suite of products if you wanted to. I'm not sure that's the right size. No, it wasn't a 4x4, so maybe it was just another 3x3. But I want to, we'll do this here in a minute. Actually, it goes, let's see. This one's a little bit bigger, as you can see, so it goes over here. So we can adhere these 3x3 photo place cards to the 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. I got to get to where I can see it a little bit better to get the right width. Common border all the way around. I think I learned that from Melody from Stamping Up. She calls common borders, like this is a common border. It's all 1/4 of an inch or this is probably 1/8 of an inch. And okay, now these can go right on the page. So we'll go ahead. If you want to pop them up with dimensionals, you certainly could do that. I'm going to try to position it center right there. So do the middle one first, and then you can determine where you want the other two. Common border, so about the same width on both of those. Okay, I think that looks good. Next, we have our old olive designer series paper. So this was the back side of this one, and we're going to adhere it. I don't think we need to, let me check. Let me see what piece this is. This is 3H. And, okay, we can go ahead and adhere this, I think. Don't use adhesive along the top. Another piece will be placed behind it. Yeah, I know what the other piece is. So we're going to center it, and it's going to overlap just about 1/4 of an inch right here. And I think I've pretty much got it centered. And then we've got a mat right here. I need to grab another 3x3 placeholder card. So give me 1 second while I grab one of those. And then I think I'm also going to have to check, what time is it? 5:15. I got a few minutes. Jeff is messaging me, so let me message him back. Okay, I think I got him messaged. Okay, then we have a cutout, a punch out right here for journaling. We can put down, and it's just going to go right down here. Kind of line it up with the same borders. There's a little bit more room right here, but I matched up these right here as close as possible. And then we have this piece. Let me move these over here. I love this plaid right here. What do you think about these color combinations? I really love them. I think it gets tucked up under here. So you probably could have just cut some off. I'm going to pop that up just a little bit so I can position it where I want it. It's a little bit further down. So about like that. So if you wanted to cut off that extra and put it in your scraps, you could totally do that. Now we've got, that's going to go up here. I think this is going to go down here. And then this is going to go right around in here somewhere. So we're just going to pop this up with some dimensionals. And I'm going to do a tag, a faux tag again, to bring some of that across the page. I really love that look. And then it'll look really great in my album with all the coordinating elements. So my plan, I'll have 4 12x12 layouts done by this time next week. Then, depending on how many photos, I'm just doing 1 photo per day through this album. That will determine how many more pages I need in my scrapbook. And that's going to line up about right there. I have to go in a little bit more. So think about like that. So let's build this up real quick. Let's see. There's my little punch. So we'll look here in a minute to see kind of where we're at number-wise. This particular page just shows like putting a 25 here and a 25 over here, but I'm going to put them around the photos. I think I was up to number 9, so I'd be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I'd be about halfway through the album. So I probably need to make about 4 more pages layouts for my. So I'm going to put this, I'm going to tuck this one up over here. So a little bit different. Let's just get it straight. So I've only put adhesive right there, so I can still come and add some more ribbon so we can make this same element over here. And let's just do, see if I can, actually I'm going to cut that off. It's got a little bit of, you can see where the pin was in it. So now let's do it. And we'll just cut it to exactly the size, about the size we need. And then we can pull this up and feed it through there. And if you don't want it poking out of your page protector up here, then you can just trim it off a little bit more. But I think that's kind of fun sometimes when you have things poking out. If you have top loading protectors, which I love, that's what I prefer. I'm just going to put that right in there. And so when I do it like that, it'll hold that piece together. And then oops, it's all coming undone. I've got to order some more of this. I love this baker's twine. I'm putting it on my next order. And then we can come under here and tie our knot. So I'd love to know what some of your Christmas traditions are. I don't know if we have, I'm sure we have some specific traditions. I just don't know that we followed them. As Jeff and I combined our families, blended our families back in 2017, then, your traditions kind of change. One thing we have stuck with is that we, on my side of the family, we always opened our presents on Christmas Eve. So I think that was something kind of new for Jeff, and that's what we did with the kids. I think I'm going to cut a little bit of this off. Maybe not that one. Okay, like that. So I've always loved doing that, just keeping with that tradition of opening our Christmas presents on Christmas Eve. So that's when we would gather with my side of the family, usually. It's kind of turned into Jeff's side of the family now. And my mom spends Christmas Eve with my brother and his in-laws because his father-in-law's birthday is actually Christmas Eve. So, and then due to my divorce and not always having Bevan here with me on Christmas, we would then plan about the 27th or around the 27th, we would plan to go spend time with my side of the family and open gifts and see cousins and all that fun stuff. So, all right, next we are going to take this one right here, best time of the year. Here's another one that I would like to dovetail. I think I'll dovetail this end and I'll decide if I want to do both ends. Since moving to Fredericksburg, one of our traditions, one of the things we like to do, we don't have a specific day necessarily that we do it, but we go down to the market plots and I don't know if I want it there or maybe like right there. Let me see. Yes, I'm talking to myself. If you want to pop this up, I think I do want to pop it up since I have this popped up. So market plots, they have, they do the lights every night for the visitors because we live in a tourist town. So every evening at 6 p.m., I think it starts right after Thanksgiving, they do the Night of Lights. So you can go and they do a countdown and light up the market plots. So beautiful. It's literally like a Hallmark movie town. So if you've never been to Fredericksburg, Texas, I would put it on your bucket list to come and visit sometime. There's lots of things to do on Main Street, along with the wineries up and down the highway 290 that goes through town. All right, I'm going to put it right there. I like that. So I positioned it a little bit further over than what is shown in the page. All right, so we did that. We did our splattering. I think just need to wrap this up. And to do that, I have to find my sequins. I don't know why I don't know where they're at. So let me look for a minute and see what I did with them. See if I put them in my stash. Give me 1 second and I'll be right back while I find them. Found them. They're in a bigger package than I think they are. Keep looking into smaller packaging. Okay, I'm going to set that aside for a second because I do want to bring in my numbers here. So maybe there's 10. So we got up to 9. So this would be number 10 over here. So I might just pop it up right there. I think that's what I'm going to do with this one. So let's see how that looks. Just, yeah, I like this cluster. I think I like it down here. I'm going to try not to get on my photo. Okay, so there's number 10. Then 11. So day 11. This one will be easy because we can just put it like right here. Should I put it somewhere else? Okay, I'm going to put it down here. I just think it'd be fun, a little bit different. So then we need number 12, which would be red. And I'm just going to keep adding them on with my dimensionals. So it'll be up here. Let me kind of, let's see, is there something that's supposed to go right there? You could put, there is a little sticker that says date. You could put that right over here if you wanted to. Kind of got it straight or not. All right, so where do I want it? Maybe right in there. I think I like that because our other ones are going to be up here. So we got 12, day 12, day 13. And day 14. I'm going to put it right over here. And then day 15. And something I just realized, it doesn't go to 31 days. It just goes to 25. So we'll go up to Christmas. So I may only have to do like 3. Extra layouts. All right. I love this. So I hope it's something that y'all enjoy too. All right, let's wrap this up with a few embellishments. Oh, and we haven't even done any stamping. I do want to do just a smidge. We may just have to put joy. Even though I have joy here, I feel like joy is going to fit right there just real nice. Let's see if it's, oh, it may be too big. I think it's going to be too big. Well, we could do it like that. That would be, tone on tone would be really pretty right there. Let's see if we can make it happen real quick. See if I can get up under there. Whoops. Just don't know if I can get up under there without. I'm going to pull this up a little bit. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Now, see if I can make it fit. I know it's kind of scary. Oh, look. Perfect. Okay. So it's okay if we have joy in there a few different times. Let's see what else real quick we might can stamp. Because I really kind of want something like right in here. Christmas traditions. I was thinking like do the word magic up in there. But now I'm like, do I want to do that in Secret Sea? I I think that's the only color it's going to look really good in. Don't know if... So I don't really want to bring another color in. It could be... Let's do Magic with Secret Sea. Sorry for jumping in the frame there, but I got to be able to see. Still kind of hard to see. Sorry. Give me 1 second. I got to get way in there. Okay, sorry about that. Cute. Okay, love it. I wish there was a little sparkle or something, but I guess we can just add our sequins. There are some other things that we could do, but time-wise, I think I'm just going to leave it at that. We'll add our... See what colors maybe we want. What did we do? We did gold on the first ones, and then we did the pool party, I think. So then we need to do green or red. I think we'll do green. We could do green and red. Ta-da! Yes. I think that will work well. I'm going to put one over here. I'm going to put a big red one down here. And then a little green one. And then I think we need some up here too. Maybe I'll do... So we got here, here. And then how about if I go like this? I like them on the white. It really pops and is pretty. And then let's go over here somewhere. And then down here, I think. All right, I think I'm going to leave it just like that. So there is project number 3 from our Keeping Tradition Scrapbooking Workshop Kit. So we have some faux tags. We did a little bit of splattering with the Wink of Stella, Old Olive, and our Secret Sea blending pen, Stampin Blend. We added and made some faux tags here. I love this feature. Just adds just enough and then just a teeny bit of stamping. If you want to do some more stamping on it, you can, but I think the page is just beautiful the way it is. And then you just add a few of those little extra fun aspects of stamping and faux tags and sprinkles or sparkles, sequins, then you have a beautiful page here. All right, so thanks so much for joining me. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments, and I will leave links to Project 1 and Project 2, also a link to for PayPal so that you can order your scrapbooking workshop kit through me to get the free package of sequins. If you want to use my Stampin' Up website to go shopping to add some of those extra items like the baker's twine, the ink pads, or the red ribbon. These are some of the extra supplies that I used along with that Keeping Tradition stamp set. And you add on your scrapbooking workshop kit with these items. I'll send you those free sequins as well. They'll just come separately from your Stampin' Up order. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for being here. I hope that you too will be able to restore a little joy through scrapbooking with me. And if you don't have these products and don't intend on purchasing these products, use what you have on hand and recreate the pages and tag me if you share them on social media. I would love to see them. So y'all Have a great week and God bless you all. And I'll see you next Thursday, October 23rd, for project number 4 using the scraps. Bye.